Here's a fun fact for you. This is only the second time this Surt DOD has rerun, and I sincerely hope that this is the last time. The amount of RNG is so bad that I need to create 2 variations of the same rotation in order to reduce the RNG. It is just absolutely atrocious. I don't know what they were cooking with this stupid boss, but anyways, shielded allies increase damage, resistance damage increase, ice damage increase, everything's for Fox basically. So the gimmick itself, it has a Ragnar stack thing, so it's just some sort of DOT to you and the boss, but also increased damage. The first phase has the Baphomet, but second phase is a Jack-o'-lantern. And this Baphomet is actually weak to Bless, which is a good thing for Yuki, so that Yuki can finish off the Baphomet, because killing the Baphomet will actually reduce Surt's HP by 30%. You also have to kind of focus on the Surt because it has some sort of weird speed tuning where if you fall below 50%, it changes from a 2 action rotation into a 3 action rotation. It's really weird. So that's why I had to make 2 variations of the rotation in order to accommodate like the 2 different like changes you can do at 2 different times, right? You can change. It is so dumb. Not only that, the Baphomet can also hit Fox, and then Fox will trigger and maybe kill the Baphomet, which is sometimes what you don't want, because you don't want to trigger the break turn. It's absolutely terrible. Oh my god. But this is the team. Unfortunately, I do not have a free-to-play version for this because I don't want to test this anymore. It's terrible. Because free-to-play version is going to be Leon and Yuki instead. I think you could probably just replace Cherish with Leon and just spam skill 2. You have to test out yourself. Okay, I cannot help you with this one anymore. But anyways, let's see our DPS Fox. So the trick to improve your chances is actually not to use skill 3 at all for the first phase. First skill 3 will taunt the enemy for 2 turns, so they will attack you for 2 turns. So that will do a bit too much damage and will screw you up. Not only like screw up because of more damage, but sometimes you don't even trigger the counter attack. Sometimes you trigger, sometimes you don't, because it's a 65% chance for A0, which sucks a lot. And that's why you want to completely not use skill 3 so that hopefully you pray that the enemies will hit your other teammates instead of Fox. So no counter attack is triggered. It's running the meditation and opulence set, 4-star weapon, set screen. The next character is Cherish. Cherish is of course very good here. The sustain is super good. The amount of shield he gives is amazing. But another tip for you is to not use Cherish skill 2 at all for the first phase, because skill 2 actually increase the rate to take attacks from foes by 50%. So if you use skill 2 on Fox, there's 50% more chance of the enemies attacking Fox. He's running Faith and Peace set, 4-star weapon, the screen. Then Yuki, we have her for the defense buff. He's running Trust and Prosperity, 4-star weapon, set screen. Then Navigator, we're using Wind. He's running Labor and Resolve, and the 4-star event weapon, and set screen. So Wonder Dagger, I haven't really tested it. You can run either like All In or Starry Compass. But I'm running Starry Compass because I already have too much defense here. 2 shielders who buff defense, so I'm using Starry Compass. So if you're using like Leon and Yuki instead, then you can just go with All In for the defense buff for Fox. Then for the personas, we have Dominion for Rebellion and Rakukaja. You need this to buff the Fox. Emerald Uzume with Mazionga to shock. And lastly, Sandalphone just for the passive. We're not going to use her at all. Actually, okay, we are kind of going to use her on the first break turn to swap to her, then use Fox Highlight. If you don't have her, you can just put whatever persona, doesn't matter. Now for the turn order, it has to be very specific. 1, 2, 3, 4 has to be like this. This is one of the rare times where Fox is not the first, and that's because of the very stupid speed tuning of the boss. Putting here will increase your chance more, which means you need a lot of speed for Wonder, basically. Which is why we have also Dominion. Dominion, I believe she learns Agility Master 4 by default, which is 15 speed, so we can just equip this on her. Before we go to the battle, I want to explain a bit of the boss's speed tuning. It's very weird. So when Surt's HP falls below 50%, it will change from 2 ally actions to 3 ally actions. To visualize this, I just drew some diagram. So you can see on this top one, the purple one is my team. The green one is Surt's action. So he moves here, then 2 actions, 2 actions. Because normally he moves 2 ally actions. So when he falls below 50%, let's say he falls below here, it becomes 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I made 2 variations of the same rotation for when it falls below 50% at the end of turn 2, at the middle of turn 3. So if you look at this one is also the one in this video. So you can see that he moves here, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3. And then Fox is the second, is on purpose so that he can use the skill 3 here and here, which is right before the break turn, which is what you want. Because if you use a skill 3 before break turn, you can do a skill 3 counter attack during the break turn, and then you just need to break with Yuki on the last section of the turn before break. So that's why I made 2 different variations to reduce the RNG. The rotation is very similar, it's just that for this top one I have 1 extra turn Because you can see that making Surt fall below 50% on the second turn will force it to 5 turns before we can use a skill 3 Fox safely. We're gonna use it after Surt moves, right? Which is this one. So we use it here. And then the other one, which is Surt below 50% on turn 3, which is this one. On turn 4, you can already use compared to turn 5 here. But that's why we have slightly different variation to reduce the RNG. I'll show both in the rotation section at the end of the video. The battle itself is gonna be commentating over the battle already, because there's just so much RNG. You can imagine that if I do this like 20 times, I have to repeat the same thing 20 times. That is terrible. So I'm just gonna explain over the video itself. Okay, so battle starts. First turn we use Mazionga from Nozomi. You just need like one shot only to get the crit rate buff. Then we use skill 2 Yusuke. Then Cherry skill 3. I mentioned already, don't use Cherry skill 2 on Fox. That's how we increase the chance. Then with skill 2 Yuki. Using skill 2 Fox, using Cherry skill 2 on Fox will increase the chance of getting attacked, which is not what you want. Sadly, that was a bit unlucky, but it's fine. Not too bad. But I didn't want everybody to attack other people that is not Fox. Let me do a win skill 1. Then we go to Rebellion from Minion, or Fox. Then he will use a skill 2. Do not use skill 3. Because skill 3 will give the taunt for 2 turns. You don't want to trigger any counter attacks because that's the RNG part, right? So we completely try to remove the RNG. Then for this turn, right? So some of the turns it depends. Sometimes you can just guard, or sometimes you can just attack. But for now, you can just attack the boss here. Just a basic attack. You don't want to use, like I said, don't use a Cherry skill 2. Then here also depends. You can do a skill 2 to buff your Fox, or you can use a skill 1 to do area attack. I chose skill 1 here to reduce the HP of the Baphomet a bit more, because you want Baphomet to be low HP on the 4th turn, so that you can finish off with Yuki to force the break turn, the weaken turn. Okay, so at this point, right, literally at this point, if Fox is okay, because I include both rotations at the end, so it depends on whether or not you hit 50% here. If you hit 50% here, you need to extend the rotation by 1 turn, so it's going to be 7 turn. But if like me right now, it's still above 60%, then you can just do 6 turns. You can just follow, because you can see that right now Surt is here. It will move here, right? So between 2 and 2, if the Surt falls below 50% here, Surt will be here, because it's 3 actions. Sadly, the freeze kinda sucks, but it's fine. I can do a win skill 3, so it depends on your Fox. You can completely skip the win skill here if your Fox is super strong, because we can do a Fox skill 3 again. Then we can do a Rakukaja Dominion on Fox. And do another skill 2 Fox. You have to get below 50% here on Surt, it's a must. Either now or later on when Surt attacks you or something, then you attack back. So right on this section, on this action, if Surt attacks you, you trigger the flower attack. If Surt falls below 50% here, then you're okay. If you do not, you have to reset. Then Cherry's gonna do a... Oh, we're gonna buff first with the highlight, under highlight. Then we do a Cherry skill 3. Then Yuki is gonna do a skill 2 to buff Fox. Because we have one more turn until we break. You see that HP is super low, which is super good. And then Wonder is gonna do an electric dance here. You can do a Mazionga or electric dance, up to you. I do electric dance to attack the boss, to inflict a shock, and also to buff crit. If both Baphomet has pretty high HP, you can just do Mazionga to do some damage, because you want the Baphomet to be below 10,000 HP so that Yuki can finish off with skill 3 later on. because it depends on your Yuki also. If your Yuki is weaker, then you probably need lower HP, but my level 70 Yuki can finish in 10,000 HP. 12,000 even can also. So it depends. You have to test it and test around stuff. It triggers the follow attack, thankfully it didn't kill. If it kills, it's really bad. Then we can do a win skill 1 here. We didn't win skill 1 just now, 1 action earlier, because just now Surt was here, right, in front of Fox. If we use it earlier, then it will wear down for 1 turn. So we use skill 1 here, win skill 1 here to ensure that it lasts until the end of the fight. And now we can do a Fox skill 3 to set up. Because Fox skill 3, if enemies do not attack Fox that has already skill 3 active, Fox will activate skill 3 himself on his own turn. Because we're gonna break the boss isn't gonna take an action. So Fox will activate it himself next turn, on the first turn of the weakened state. Then we do a skill 2 finally from Cherish, of defense. Then Yuki is gonna do a skill 3, attack the... attack Surt is also possible, but you have to kill. But safest play is to attack the Battleman, because killing the Battleman will reduce the Surt's HP by 30%. And the HP right now is way below 30%, so it's safe. Then it's the weakened turn. First turn here, we swap Wondrous Persona to Centerfold. Then we use Fox Highlight. This should trigger the passive because of the defense buff of the Centerfold gives. Then we do a Rebellion from Dominion. And now we can do a skill 3, oh no, here's a skill 3 from Fox. It activates itself because no one attacked him just now. Now we do a win skill 3. This is to buff the skill 2 from Fox. Because skill 2 does more damage compared to the individual cloud attacks. Because only 4 don't attack, right? Surt will not attack because Surt is, confused right now or something. He cannot move. The skill 2 from Win is not a bad timing. At least it's before the it's before the counter attack. Let me do a skill 3 Cherish. Then skill 2 Yuki. Then this will actually should activate all the flow attacks because we already used the Fox Highlight, which will guarantee counter attacks for 3 turns. We really only need 2 turns because it's only, 2 turns in the weakened state. You can see that's only at 40,000 per attack, so it's like 160,000 only compared to the 200,000 plus from the skill 2. So that's why I used the skill 3 on the Fox skill 2 turn. The Mazionga. I got quite lucky there, 4 out of 5 shocks and all on the Jack-o'-lantern, which is good. You can do a skill 3, the final one. Then we do a skill 3 from Win again. Make sure you use this skill 3 after Fox X action, because you don't want to waste the buff on the turn where, on the action where Fox doesn't even attack. Then when you highlight, make sure you attack the one that is shocked and has no insight, because you want to save the insight for Fox to do a bit more damage. We do a skill 2, Cherish. And lastly, skill 3 from Yuki. Again, attack the shock, but no insight. And then the final big counter attack from Fox. Almost 600k, not too bad. Then 3 more attacks. Yeah, so does not take action, and now it's the end. 27.5 million, which is not too bad. I'll actually show you a couple Summer Closers rotations, because if you have a decently built Summer Closer, maybe like, no, I won't say decently, but like higher awareness, maybe A1, A2, you can actually just use her instead of Fox, if it's an A0 Fox of course. Because the score difference, okay, maybe it's like 7 million difference, but higher Closer awareness is probably going to be closer to the same level as Fox. So you just use Summer Closer instead. But this one is with Samamoko and Leon. Just gonna flash through this, and then the other one is with Cherish instead of Samamoko. Cherish is better for me, mainly because Cherish doesn't heal, so it allows Leon to really reduce Summer Closer's HP for more crit damage. Then here's the one of the rotation. This rotation is for Surt 50% on the second turn here. So it's a 7 turn rotation, one of the longer ones, because we have to do some guarding on this third turn to delay 1 turn so that we can skill 3 with Fox on the 5th turn here. This one somehow got me lower 26.3, not sure why, because literally the final 4 actions and the first 2 actions is the same for both variations. It's just that this rotation has 1 extra turn. Then this one is for this video. This one is Surt below 50% on the 3rd turn here. This one has 1 turn less but score higher for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Maybe just damage variance.